Hello, everybody, and it's been a very long time, but welcome back to RWBY!
Yay!
Oh my god, it has been so long. If you guys know anything, we are moving, so some content we had to like cut back on. Yeah. And if you are part of the Patreon, you kind of know everything that's been happening. But yeah, we're finally back, and we're in the best volume. Well, I'm just saying by bias. This is, in my favorite opinion here, is that Volume 4 is the best because I like the fact of what they do with each of the characters and gives them more structure. This is also when the animation does change. So really get excited for this. We're doing the character short. It's 5 minutes that came out before Volume 4. It was used as a way to promote Volume 4. But you guys, I remember you said that I had to do this. But if you want to like catch up here, I'm Kat.
I'm Tat.
I have watched all of RWBY. I cannot wait for the new volume. And when does that come out?
There's
a few trailers I have not seen yet. It's like when it comes to RWBY in general, I love this show. I have many different opinions about some of the newer choices they made from the other volumes. But overall, I'm not here just for that. I'm here for the characters and seeing how they do grow. I think the importance of a story is like even if you disagree with something, but you still want to watch it, it's kind of in a way you watch it for the characters. You know, like I'm very like attached to these characters, so it's like when you see them on their journey, you see them progress through it, like from Volume 1 to the newest volume, it's kind of crazy because you see how they grow. No, I'm saying with anything, you know, and like it's like with Bleach, with Dragon Prince, with anything that you love, it's like it's watching the characters kind of change and grow. Because if you're gonna give me a series that just doesn't show your characters growing and changing,
boring.
It truly is boring. You know what's good? One thing about like if you guys have seen Naruto is like you see Naruto from the beginning, and then you see how much he's changed within like Shippuden. No spoilers or anything, but it's like even within like a specific time within Shippuden, you're like, so this is that many days and they've changed this much, and this much has already happened. So it's like it kind of goes to show you that when you are watching a certain show, and it's like you see them from kids to where they are now.
Is
exactly.
The perfect example.
Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
It's like you see them from when they're children to when Goku's like God, like what, like right now when he's like in his 30s or something. Yeah. So it's like it's amazing that stories like this kind of exist. It's like RWBY doesn't have huge time skips. I'm sure it will later on.
That would be so cool. Because I mean, I haven't seen any past this. Yeah. Because I'm brand new to RWBY, but it would be really cool to see them as adults if they want to continue RWBY after they finish their stories and like they have kids or whatever, and then they can focus on their kids. I think that would be really cool because RWBY's so big. I feel like it would be like missed opportunities if they didn't have the characters grow to adults.
That's a definite thing. Like I want to see more of like past story first, like with like you know Crow and everybody. Like, I would love to see that because I feel like there's so much mystery behind it from what you've seen, and there's a lot that's coming up. I want to see characters where it's like maybe they get like an episode or so just about
dedicated to them.
But yeah, like seeing if RWBY does kind of change and develop into something outside of like maybe spin-offs, because I know like there is the story, and then there's I think they call it the RWBY Bible or something that Monty left behind. So like the story is supposedly finished. You know, how he wrote it out. So just getting to that point. But I don't know how they feel about, like, spin-offs or anything. But a spin-off I would love to see is definitely with Crow. Yeah. Because there's so much history there. And with history, there comes mystery. So, anyway, guys. So let's get started. Because right after this, we're jumping into Volume 4. And
we'll do the soundtracks at some point.
Yes.
Because I know you guys have been asking for that. It will happen. I don't know when. Probably in between 4 or after 4.
It depends. Because I mean, I want to get right into because I'm trying to think. Maybe it'd be better just to like because there's story to them. So
because I know we were supposed to watch it before 4, but we didn't. Yeah. So it'll be eventually.
Yeah. It's probably definitely after 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So here we go. Let's get started.
I'm scared. It's been so long.
I know.
What is this about? I don't know.
The animation change is beautiful. Ominous music.
It looks so cool.
I know.
Uh-oh. No. It looks so cool. So you have to watch this before 4? Like, is this like...
You don't have to. It just adds to the experience.
Screech.
Whee! Free ride.
I would have waited till it started landing at least. Oh no.
It is like the ear movements
yeah,
and everything.
Like a little dog.
Like honestly, a simple change in like your software that you use can make a huge difference.
God. God.
Literally in half.
Like I know they're bad, but I always feel bad when they die because they look like animals. Ow!
He's chucking it at her.
Why is that funny?
He's chucking it at her.
Murder.
Oh.
Ow. Big boy.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh, he is creepy.
Gorillas.
Oh no.
A slide. Ruby ice skating. Oh no, it would be Weiss. Weiss and Ruby ice skating together would be freaking funny.
I feel like Ruby's more of a roller skater.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen characters roller skate before, so. God.
No, no.
Just chuck that one at her! I mean, that was smart. That was smart. Oh.
Yeah.
Get him!
Oh my god.
Oh.
No, no.
No! Ugh. I just think the Grimm specifically, when how they've like improved.
I know, they look so cool. It's the shading now. It's so good. I don't know what.
It's more like, because it remind you like give you like Wind Waker vibes, like how it's more
Yeah.
It's like less line and more like with the color. And up we go. Oh God, yes. Oh.
Ow. Ow. This poor thing. Ow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's brutal. Oh my God. She's like, well.
You better hurry.
My God.
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, there's just,
yeah,
there's a lot that happens. So, oh, I'm so excited for this volume. Okay,
I'm scared.
So the
so
beauty of this is, you know, you get to kind of see the animation for what it is. You know, personally speaking, it's like when they give little like sideshows or little presentations like this. We've never been to like RTX or anything like that, but when I know for a fact when you see people there and they get to see the trailers, it's like the energy is just so high. It's because, you know, this is like, in a way, before like Rooster Teeth was as big as it is now, it's like a lot of this was like independently made. So it's like seeing how much it has changed over the years. It's like you have the dedicated fans from the beginning who's been following it since volume 1. You know, and it's like you kind of, in a way, you have to consider volume 1 through 3 like its own volume, because it's like, you know, the short episodes and everything. A lot more episodes are much longer now. It's like the animations are absolutely beautiful, and To me, I feel like it feels as if you could play this as a video game. I mean, there are a few RWBY video games.
Yeah, they need to make like a Smash Bros. Like video game. They probably have.
They have oh god, what is it called? Blaze Blue or something.
I'm so curious what they look like, because if they look like this in the video games, that'd be so cool to play.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, I feel like when you kind of go forward with like RWBY in general, it's like they as you've seen, like Rooster Teeth has been doing so much with the content. And, you know, we've heard from people before, like, what they think about the newest volumes. You know, like, some people didn't like Volume 8, and it's, like, to each their own, obviously. But what they've been doing, it's pretty cool. It's like they have the games that are coming out. They have the D&D book. They have the lore book. They're kind of partnering with a lot of the comics. And, like, I think there's, like, a RWBY and DC thing coming out. So it's, like, seeing how it does change from even, like, all the way back when Volume 4 came out. It's, like, there's a different form of an energy. But it's like you always want to go back into the fans' energy. Like, you're not even just thinking about, like, the business, because there's a lot of things that you could talk about the business of Rooster Teeth. You could see, like, how many people have addressed it. Like, there's been a lot of channels that discussed it before better than we can. But it's, like, in general, when you go into RWBY, you got to go from the fans' perspectives. Because, honestly, like, without fans of something, that something won't exist. You know, they always say, like, yeah, you may have the greatest idea in the world, but in a way, if you don't have people backing it, in a way, it's like you have to focus on that building that community. And obviously, outside of just Rooster Teeth's community, there is a huge RWBY community. So it's like you could definitely feel the energy that they put into this because they knew the fans were going to reciprocate that.
Yeah. Was this shown at like a con?
I think it was.
I feel like it was like before like
because
the release of 4.
Yeah, it's like it's saying, oh, it will premiere on Rooster Teeth, blah, 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 blah. But it's like seeing that, you know, how much RWBY, even to now, knowing where it's gone from Volume 4. I mean, some people like said that the volumes have gotten weaker since 6. Some people don't like 5. I mean, since 7 too. Like, but a lot of people just didn't like 8. So I feel like I like getting different opinions. There's some things in 8 I didn't like. There's some things that I really like. So when you go and you kind of critique something, you don't want to go in and say like the whole thing is crap. Yeah. You know, you don't want to.
Because you want to be respectful for the writers. Like, yes, you might not agree with it, but at the same time, it's like they are working on it. And like, I'm sure that the writers took everyone's criticism for 8. I haven't seen it because this is like the newest thing I saw. Yeah. But I'm sure that they take all the criticism of 8 and they're going to make 9, 10, or whatever better than last time. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, ideally, if you're a smart writer, you would, and you wouldn't continue with whatever plot points that people didn't like and kind of redeem yourself. But, I mean, if they are smart, that's how it will be for, like, 9 and future volumes.
Yeah, honestly, like, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think about, like, what's been happening with Rooster Teeth? What's been happening with Warner Media, specifically, with all the things going on with, like, Cartoon Network? We've talked to a few people before over on Patreon, but we want to hear from you guys, too, on the channel. Like, what do you think of this? Because, honestly, like, stuff like that is it's toxic to see that cartoons and then their creators are being kind of like screwed over, where it's like they're trying to do like tax exemptions of things because they think like, oh, it didn't last that many seasons, we canceled it. And I know this, one of our patrons said this, so I'm just like, because like we like in the book industry, it's a lot of stuff happens very similar. Like if you're a writer and you're trying to go like traditional publishing, getting an agent and editor, please be careful because someone can really just steal or sell your rights. In terms of for what you want to do. Like some people will have like a picture book and then suddenly that idea, it's not even just a plagiarizing thing, it's literal like publishers taking those rights and then using all those funds for themselves or favoritizing like a certain like author and like screwing over everyone else. That's why it's like I really like to say this constantly is like when it comes to newer agencies that are coming out, like the bigger agencies, if you get rep by a bigger agency, great, that's awesome for you. But if you go for a smaller, like more boutique agency and then they grow, you're growing with them and you're one of the first people that join. So those are the types of people you know you're going to get the support from. But with traditional publishing, there's a lot of toxicity that goes in within it, and it's very similar to what Warner Media is doing. It's kind of scary. So
it goes for any creative, but like music specifically. Like, I know some of you guys are probably musicians, and you might want to like get your stuff out there. But if you're ever with like an agent or anything with the music industry, you need to be so careful, especially with labels. Yeah. Like, you want to be so careful with that. That's why a lot of times, sometimes it is better just to have, like, a Patreon or something that you can, like, fund from your fans. Because you have more control over what you're creating than what the label or whatever is telling you to do.
To an example, like, All Ages of Geek, we're independent media. So it's, like, what we do is, like, we want to be able to give back to communities. And in terms of that, it's, like, we'll be supporting, like, D&D creators. We'll be supporting... Indie game devs. Indie game devs, specifically. Because
that's all we do.
There's, like, a lot of people that we want to go and support. So when you guys help fund us over on Patreon, that goes back into funding the site, which then goes back into helping other people grow their brands and everything else like that. So it's like everything is like this full circle where it's like we all want to go back and like do this goodwill. So if you are a creator and you want to be interviewed, just let us know. Join our Discord, DM Tat over on Discord.
Or Twitter.
Or on Twitter. Because we want to be able to showcase your work. Specifically, if you are a writer, like we definitely want to support more writers out there because we know how shy people can be. So if you're feeling very like shy to share your work, this is your sign that we are here to help you. And it is your sign right now to not just be shy about your work, but to know that God gave you this gift to be able to write, and you should be able to share it with other people. So if you're a comic artist, if you're a writer, if you're almost anything like type of creator, we want to be able to help you as much as possible. Yes. But back into this, it's like seeing how much it kind of like developed since 3. What do you feel like?
I'm nervous.
Okay.
From what you told me, how 4 is, I know you said it's your favorite volume, but I'm sure it's
you're nervous because it's like you
very emotional.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be very emotional because of exactly what at the end of 3 was. Okay. Like I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm not looking forward to like my heart breaking for these characters. Yeah. I'm excited because animation looks great, like the shading specifically looks awesome. But I am just so nervous to see what happens.
Oh, it's good. It's good to be nervous with these shows. I feel like when it comes to RWBY, you never know what they're going to kind of throw at you. So it's like if someone ends up dying, you're going to be like, oh. A lot of, I could just say this, like there's a lot of healing that goes on within this volume. A lot of like feelings of forgiveness, mentions of like finding inner strength, like all that kind of stuff. And like, what I love about it is RWBY shows you to overcome, you know? And it's like, that's what I feel like why I love the show so much is like, you know, not even just RWBY, but a lot of the characters, they kind of still overcome. They keep moving forward. Like that is the entire slogan of RWBY is like, keep moving forward. It's like, no matter what happens, you keep moving forward. I remember when I was a kid, the most underrated movie that I've seen like from Disney was Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, such a good movie.
I think in...
You had to be like
middle
8th
school.
grade.
No, I think it was like, I don't know what year it came out. But I think it was before middle school. I think I was still in school before I got homeschooled. I saw that movie and the vibe of it is beautiful. The direction,
it's so good.
Fantastic. And they also say keep moving forward. So that's why when I saw this and saw RWBY, I was like, oh wait, wasn't that Meet the Robinsons? It's like, that's a very underrated film. What are some underrated films that you guys have seen in animation? Yeah. Because there's so many like live action, but in animation. But going back to RWBY, it's like knowing that, you know, seeing that they kind of like show the characters go through something, they struggle, they go through death or demise or anything like that. They keep moving forward, you know, and it's kind of sad because a lot of shows, like since I'd say 2019, 2020-ish, have been depressing. Yeah. And we talk about this a lot. I know somebody did say, like, why do you guys always hate on Netflix? And if you are watching, we're going to talk about this right now. A lot of the stuff that Netflix does show and make for not even just, like, you know, adults, but for kids sometimes is, like, I don't want to get into that one movie that they made and talk about that. It's, like, I mean, for them to, like, even stream that, it was just, like, what are you doing, Netflix? It's, like, even if you're doing something like this for publicity, it's not, what the hell is wrong with you? I just feel like a lot of the shows that they are making now is they focus more on this is the edgy side of it, and I'm not going to show you how to solve it, you know? There's probably a lot of really good shows on there, but they're buried underneath the edge of Netflix, you know? And I feel like what is lacking nowadays, not even just in animation, but in content in general, is that feeling of keep moving forward. You know, and that's why I love RWBY, because it reminds you, if RWBY gets edgy, RWBY gets dark and
like you could show your character
I love that stuff,
but it's like I feel like now it's like writing is like just the struggle. Like it's you can show your character struggling because obviously like that is life. Like we all struggle, but like you have to have some type of, oh, this is how I'm trying to get better, or this is what I'm doing to fix this problem in your book or whatever you're writing.
And it's like, I think like I haven't seen many like cartoons that stuck because I mean everything that's going on with like Warner Media, but like Steven Universe is another good example. You
the Dragon Prince,
like these shows, it's like you see these characters, they literally go through hell, but they overcome it. Avatar, they go through hell and so many different transformations, but they overcome it. And then what I love about RWBY too is like, especially like now within Volume 4, is that, and you know, Avatar does the same thing, and you can see the resemblance between the two, is that they are these characters, but they are not a specific trait of themselves. You know, and I feel like the worst thing you could do for your characters is if they have one specific trait about themselves, that's their entire character. What RWBY does is they kind of show, like, look at RWBY. It's like RWBY's so many different things. Like, she's excitable, but that's not what defines her.
None of them are tropey. Like, they're not I mean, maybe new characters may be tropey in the show. You know more than I do. But I feel like with RWBY, I feel like RWBY, so at least the characters I've met, none of them are really tropey. Like, they have tropes, obviously, because when you're writing a character, like, whatever, you base it off of something, but none of them are, like, the typical, like, shonen characters. Like, none of them are like that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, there's some that come later on, you're just like, oh, I wish, because it's, like, it's more the feeling, like, they introduce them, and then you're like, I don't know much about you, because the story keeps moving forward. But, like, maybe even future volumes, like, kind of like what Dragon Prince did. It's like, when it first started, it's like, you didn't know who all these characters were, and then you're like, oh, hi, Viren. You know, that kind of stuff.
Can't wait.
But I'm really curious of what you're going to think about this, because a lot of people had a problem with RWBY's character in this volume specifically. I will get into more details
later
when it does come, but I'm going to mention it when a specific scene happens. Because there's a reason RWBY acts the way she does in this volume, and I like standing up for it, so I get to talk about it again. But alright, guys, I want to say let's get started. What's wrong with me?
No, we're done.
But anyway, friends, if you would like to support us, go over to our Patreon. We're going to start uploading a lot more for RWBY when it comes to not even just RWBY, but like a lot more stuff. Like, we have like Vox there. We're doing Critical Role. We're doing a lot of like anime, lots of movies.
Young
Justice. You know, we have like X-Men coming out. So even like if you're a higher tier, you guys get to recommend content. But even if you're not, we have thousands, we're not lying, we have thousands and thousands of hours of content. We honestly, with our weekly stuff plus the requests, it's like what, like almost 40 plus requests?
Yeah.
But no, 40 series.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean 40 episodes.
Yeah,
that means like there's a
10.
lot. There's some of them that have like, some people request like 10 episodes per month, some 5, some 2. But there's a lot of stuff over there. But if you guys would like, it's not even just helping us, it's like you're also helping other creators, because we are in the process of building up our website and making it even stronger to be able to support other people as much as possible. So if you help fund us, you're also helping fund other people within the geek culture space, in the creative space. And, you know, we want to build this up because, again, I miss the days when a lot of websites existed when they were really fun. I mean, like, you always talk about, like, how BuzzFeed used to be like, oh, my God.
Old BuzzFeed. 2010 BuzzFeed.
Yeah. And it's like, I miss that when it wasn't just so corporate. You know, a lot of companies now, and even just, like, you know, websites in general, they are so corporate. Like, All Ages of Geek is an LLC, but we aren't, you know, like, we don't consider ourselves to be like, oh, we're just corporate media. Like, no, we literally want to be able to help and be independent as much as possible, and that's why Patreon allows it to be possible. So, you know, as much as you can, if you want to help, or even sharing the link will help. And also, we have merch.
Yes, you should support that. We have lots of cool stuff.
So if you'd like to don the wonderful dice of All Ages of Geek or some of our characters, you guys can over on Fourth Wall. The link is in the description. It should also be popping up on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I think it pops up like on the bottom.
It's like some videos it does, some it doesn't. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. But if not, there's the link in there somewhere. Then we have a bunch of stuff: sweaters, T-shirts, stickers. That thing you can't really grab it. It's a water bottle, mugs. I think I said stickers, hats. We actually have beanies. Those are really cool. They're all like embroidered, like with the dice on it. They're really nice.
Yeah.
So if you want to like show your support like in real life, why not wear a T-shirt?
Yeah, and also like gets people talking, because it's like if people see you wearing like, oh, what's this dice? It's like, then you could tell us like, oh, I'm supporting this like independent media type of site that's also giving back to writers and everything. Because again, like our site is in the process of its round 2, and it's like it's gonna be really fun because you guys are here and you guys can also like help us get ideas. And like if you are creative and you want to be able to share your work, we are always here for you, and that's what we want to do, is give back as much as possible, because goodwill and community and like kind of in a way giving back to the common man and the common good is what's important. And we miss doing this. We miss doing RWBY, so we're back.
Yay! We are
back. But my friends, we have an amazing day. Stay weird, stay wonderful, stay awesome. Until next video, just fangirl, fanboy, fan person every single day. Bye!